Hello everyone, this is Nabil Salam, also known as the Noble Player, and today I want to talk about an annoyance that infuriates me with a lot of these new video game releases, specifically one that just came out, and something that I learned actually over the last 4 or 5 years, something that you can do to avoid this problem. Let's get ready with this video. So more recently nowadays when you look forward to a brand new game, whether it's a remaster or it's actually going to be a brand new title, you have your expectations so built up so high, and then you realize that when you buy it on day one, or let's say on launch weekend, you realize that it's either completely broken, it's lacking in content, or just completely under-delivers on what the developers and the studio actually promised for. This has happened for so many years now. I remember when back in 2020 we had Cyberpunk 2077. When that game first launched, that game was completely broken. It was completely lacking in all of the content from all the promotional trailers and the material. The developers had to take heavy notice of that. It took a lot of scrutiny, and it took them many years up until I think last year, since they made a DLC and they tried to improve the game, so make it a lot more competent actually to play the game. I didn't play the new stuff since I first beat it at launch. It was not a very good game in my opinion, just on the basis alone, and I'm not gonna easily forgive a company or a developing team that actually lied to the fans. But enough of that story. Let's talk about one game that I was looking forward to that just came out, and it just completely fumbled right out of the gate. So Star Wars Battlefront, the classic collection, the classic Star Wars games, you'll have the first two in one package. They were going to have upgraded visuals, and they were going to have also excessive multiplayer options. I think 64 multiplayer options, I think it was going to be. According to this title, it says over here, it has had a disastrous launch on pretty much any platform, and it has now have multi-negative reviews on Steam on day one. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection's launch hasn't gone as expected, with many players negatively reviewing the game. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection has had a disappointing launch due to severe lag issues and crashing sessions affecting multiplayer modes. If you're gonna have, if you're gonna launch a multiplayer game and you're gonna promote the fact that you're gonna have, you can play online with your friends, for example. If you're gonna have crashing problems or lag, that's kind of a big turnoff for a lot of people and a big issue. Only 3 servers were available at launch, causing chaos for 10,000 players, but most servers were added within an hour. Really? In an hour? You didn't notice this? Or you didn't actually think about this before you're actually going to launch the game? Single player modes remain unaffected by server issues, offering iconic moments from original and prequel trilogies. Sure. Look, single player. Granted, of course, there's no way you can mess up a single player mode, but at the end of the day, if you're just gonna, just play the single player mode, you might as well honestly just have kept, maybe your original copies, if you still have the original copies, whether on PC or on older platforms. The highly anticipated Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection's launch hasn't gone as expected, with many players negatively reviewing the game. Pandemic Studios' original 2000s-era Star Wars Battlefront titles were extremely well received upon their original launch 2 decades ago, with a wealth of multiplayer modes and enjoyable single-player campaigns. Therefore, many fans were eager to revisit them on modern devices through Aspire's new remaster. It's kind of surprising that Aspire would mess this up. This is the same studio that went on to make the Tomb Raider classic remastered trilogy, and those were excellent. Unfortunately, at the time of writing, the Battlefront Classic Collection has mostly negative reviews on Steam. Most of these complaints seem to be due to severe lag or entire sessions crashing, making the return of the game's 64-player multiplayer modes completely redundant. So it's actually kind of annoying how that really turns out. And just so we can, I can be more straightforward with this. If we look over here at the Steam page right now, you can already see here, like they had mentioned, mostly negative reviews. Let's take a look into those ones. So you can already see here, for example, the first hour of launch. Only have 3 servers to join, massing about 200 people rounded up. Seriously, what the F is this? I'll update this review if I can actually join a lobby, actually. This was not like the simulations. So let me get this straight. You launched this game with only 3 servers on PC, knowing full well people only bought that for the sole reason. Exactly. Peak comedy gold. Easy refund. What a disappointment. So as you can see here, it's just not, it's not selling it's not going very well for a lot of people at the moment. And if we go over to Twitter over here, by the way, I just stumbled upon this post from some ordinary gamers, Mutahor. By the way, he's a fantastic YouTuber. I highly recommend subscribing to his channel. He talks a lot about video games and emulation. Man, I really wanted this to be good, but once again, it's an effed up release with barely functioning multiplayer. You know, the key reason to actually play. This is kind of what they were promoting the most part. And if you want, you can just go, if you just search up, Star Wars Battlefront on there, you can just look at the latest timeline over here, a lot of the latest posts, and there's just, just talking about like, how poorly received it has been and how people are just really disappointed with the multiplayer aspect of it. So again, this is another disappointing modern video game release that, is just under-delivering on what, the developers had promised in that case. Trying again, saying, oh, we can fix this problem for you guys, because we just, heard your complaints and now we're going to fix it to make everything better. And that's just not how it works. At least I don't feel that way. The one thing that I can tell you at the very least for myself, and I want to say to all of you guys who's watching this video, the one thing you can do, honestly, that you can prevent yourself from disappointment, don't pre-order video games. 100%, just don't do it. I understand it's like really tough for some people because I get it. Gaming journalists, right? The people who work in the industry to review games and they get paid to review games. They're not always very reliable, really. But really, at the end of the day, it's like for me, it's like when I used to get disappointed by things like Cyberpunk. And I remember even just recently, I played, Spider-Man 2 last year. I only got the collector's edition because I wanted that big statue. Turned out that game also was a big disappointment to me anyways. It's easier, like when you don't pre-order video games, you don't have, first of all, like that FOMO feeling. Because I think FOMO, the fear of missing out, I think that one is just kind of like, fabricated to make you think you look cool, but it's not. But at the same time, it's like, we need to understand, like, for example, like, we've been beaten over and over and over again with these broken, under-delivered video game releases. And if the more that we actually like learn to stop, pre-ordering, doing that practice, the more we're actually like, saving our money, saving our time. Just because, one game that you look forward to isn't, up to par with necessarily what you want, doesn't mean, it's not the end of the world for video games. There are plenty of, video games, plenty of indie developers, plenty of, big AAA studios that you can still rely and trust over time. For me, like, for example, okay, I was looking forward to Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, but, because I heard the game wasn't particularly very good from the players who are actually trying it out, I just said, okay, I'm not going to buy this game, honestly. I'm just going to look forward to other things. Dragon's Dogma 2, Stellar Blade for the PS5, for example, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door Remix coming out as well. So there's always a lot of things that are coming out here and there. I just think that's a really good thing that when you have a new video game release, it's best not to pre-order. It's better to wait, honestly. And that's kind of what I want to bring up today, actually, just about, the dangers of pre-ordering video games and also a lot of why video games tend to always be, broken at launch and how we need to keep note of that all the time. So I would like to bring that story up to you guys. And that's kind of pretty much it. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this story, this topic, actually? If you actually one of the people who bought Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, I would love to know in the comment section. Are you experiencing the same problem as some of these other players within, the multiplayer sessions? Or if there's any problems within the single player campaigns as well? And also as well, I'm really glad of how this YouTube channel is going. And I'm really excited to see where things are going. If you guys like more of these type of videos, or you like to know more about reviews, I'm working on figuring out how to start a live stream actually to play some video games live. I do recommend you subscribe to this channel. Maybe give a like or a thumbs down if you what do you think about this video. And also please subscribe to the channel as well for more of this content. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.